always butting in my business. Stay the hell out of it.
You told me.
No, I didn't.
You told me.
No, not.
Yes, you did. You are full of.
These exchanges from recent Geraldo shows sometimes shock casual channel flippers, but they're routine for America's most flamboyant talk show host. As he would be the first to tell you, he's seen it all in an energetic 23-year TV career.
The doctor invited me to see the conditions he was talking about, so unannounced and unexpected by the school administration, we toured building number 6.
Geraldo first received national attention in 1972 with his expose from inside New York's Willowbrook State Mental Institution.
This is what it looked like, this is what it sounded like, but how can I tell you about the way it smelled? It smelled of filth, it smelled of disease, and it smelled of death.
ABC News soon noticed the young reporter, assigning him as the star correspondent on 2020.
And welcome everyone to Yasser Arafat's front line on the outskirts of the city of Tripoli.
From exotic locations worldwide, Rivera practiced his activist style of journalism, a style which would land him his own talk show 7 years ago. In 1988, a fight broke out on the set during taping, and Geraldo was right in the middle of it. Despite suffering a broken nose, Geraldo survived, and since then, his show has thrived in the face of increasing competition.
All of the shows are very, very different, the successful ones, and there's a reason for that, because the host is very different, and they're very unique, and they bring something special to it. And I think you know when you watch Geraldo, you're getting someone who really is not afraid to get in there and get his hands dirty.
Geraldo Rivera, born July 4th, 1943, New York City, New York, is an American journalist, attorney, author, and political commentator who worked with Fox News Channel from 2001 to 2023. He also hosted a tabloid talk show, Geraldo, from 1987 to 1988. But that's not what made him famous. On April 21st, 1986, over 30 million people tuned in on CBS to watch The Mystery of Al Capone's Vault.
A massive concrete chamber has been discovered, and there is evidence to suggest that that vault once belonged to Al Capone, the richest and most powerful gangster of his time.
The real question is, what if somebody moved the treasure before Geraldo got there? What if Geraldo just looked in the wrong place? These are questions yet to be answered.
Now let's return to memories of other crimes from another era. John Drummond is at the Lexington Hotel, where efforts to solve a gangster mystery apparently have fizzled. John?
John, it was the biggest excavations an archaeologist dug up King Tut's tomb years ago, but the bottom line here tonight in front of the old Lexington was that there were no bodies, no Capone loot, no Capone swag, and no cases of gin or Scotch whiskey were discovered in the basement of the old Lexington Hotel, which once served as the headquarters of the Capone mob.
There was nothing in Al Capone's vault, but it wasn't Geraldo's fault.
But if you take the vault aspect out of it, it's an interesting story and deep dive into the most infamous mobster in American history. It begins with host Geraldo Rivera walking outside the Lexington Hotel in Chicago, a hotel once owned by mobster Al Capone and where he ran his operations out of until his arrest in 1931. 30 million people tune in to see the highest syndicated special in history.
A massive concrete chamber has been discovered, and there is evidence to suggest that that vault once belonged to Al Capone, the richest and most powerful gangster of his time.
Geraldo is just coming off being fired from ABC for criticizing the channel's decision not to air a report. His career is riding on this moment. He has prepared for months, and his mustache has been combed to perfection.
Now what, if anything, that vault contains, we don't know. This is an adventure you and I are going to be taking together.
Geraldo isn't lying either. This wasn't staged like some of the live events we see take place today. No one knew what was behind that concrete wall, and that would prove to be a huge mistake.